Hello ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again for map number 3, the final map of the evening. We've had 2 wonderful games so far, and now we get to see how the first night of the NUEL Winter PUBG season goes. My name is Derry Destitute-Holt, joined by Mr. Tom Trid Underwood. I'm looking forward to seeing how the night concludes, Trid.
That's some fire so far in the first 2 games, Des. Had ourselves the
I almost got the intro right and I left the Monster Cat music on, for God's sake.
Oh, Des, what are
Always
you doing?
so close.
They're the broadcaster.
What is you doing, girl?
Life. Now, I was saying we had a pretty good performance last time from Swansea Storm Red, taking it to Kiel Legends in a final showdown where we had that nice little road that worked, as you said correctly, Des, a no man's land of conflict. We're jumping back onto Erangel for our final map of the night. And let's see if we can have another strong performance, because, correct me if I'm wrong, Des, it got jumbled between Erangel and Miramar about who was finishing where. There wasn't consistent top finishes.
It was a bit mixed at points, yeah. We saw some of the teams that were getting the high frags who weren't finishing in the top 3. And then in the last game, it kind of stabilised itself out a bit. I believe we saw Atomic's team finishing with 17 frags towards the end. Insane performance coming out of those guys. That's the kind of stuff that gets you wins and gets you those oh-so-crucial points to make it into the playoffs at the very end of the season.
Jumping onto Erangel, teams of getting ready to deploy all over the area. And you can see there's a nice line there leaning towards the western side, but it gives a lot of work for these teams. They can spread quite far on this one and hit the fringes of the map before it starts to isolate down into that first circle.
Yeah, you can see most of the teams dropping off. Not so much super early. I'm curious to see if any choose to go towards the military island for now. We did see a lot of teams gravitate towards Milter Power and Milter itself last time round. Of course, with this flight path, it is going to change things a bit. You can only get about 1 3/4 or 2 squares away unless you pull super early. But that's not always strictly going to be worth it, to be honest, because by the time you've landed, well, everyone else around you has probably got guns.
Yeah, you don't want to be landing into a hot area and we'll wait for the circle to be formed, because the further you go out, you could risk coming back onto yourself depending on where that first circle gravitates to. And we just don't know where it's going to land. We can already see 2 squads there, 18 and 14, landing in the same location. It looks like it's just shy of Rozhok. Could be quite dangerous for them. And another squad, Deathblade coming in from squad 20. This could get ugly very quickly.
Where's the rest of squad 20 is my question. He's very much so dropped in on his own here as the 2 other squads getting ready to scrap things out. Looks like he's going to have very much so much of the west side, though, of Rozhok completely to himself, whereas 18 and 14, well, they're descending in the same zone, and 14 have made the very wise decision of landing, grabbing a vehicle, and getting the hell out of there, because for the looks of it, they're going to say, well, 18, Rozhok is yours. We're done.
Yeah, we are not taking this one.
Actually,
see you later, friendo.
Yeah, because number 9's there as well, Shazmaster. So there's 2 squads with a very similar colour there, which got a little bit confusing. But as you can see, 18 and 9 are both here. Going to be a bit of a potential mismatch.
18, 9, and 20, Des. You can see there. You got Narplay's games over off to the east. And then
Snow!
Oh, Gibby already taking out Snow. He's not going to be happy with that one. I can already see the Bible from him in the chat.
Did he kill him with a bike?
It might have killed him with a bike. Killed him with a vehicle. Yeah, killed him with a bike. And look at that. Lion is already there in the vehicle trying to get away. God HB, I don't think has a vehicle, so Gibby's going to ride off, and they can't really do anything about it.
Incredible. Well, I'm about to run into Etarded here, potentially. I don't really think, well, with a shotgun, we'll have enough firepower. Yeah, not really enough to bring him down at the back of it, I don't think. And he's just watching all these vehicles fly past him. It's a very pacifistic style of play from everyone so far, because no real shots have been fired. It's just been a lot of driving around, and for Gibby, running people over on a motorbike.
Yeah, well, Etarded's with Fietta. So Swansea, of course, they won that previous round. Those 2 are near to each other. I don't know where Penn and Atomical are, though. So they could be a little bit further. They're in Yasnaya, looting at the moment. They're going to have to deal with Herpfen. Chicken Dillon from Team 2. Got himself a little bit of problem. Overpad was a big player tonight so far. And already getting taken down by Jumbly Wobbles. Team 2's team going to have to close ranks to come and get him. Otherwise, they could be a man down very early into this matchup.
He's got some big Jumbly Wombles trying to go for that kind of fight. Gets himself down super easy. That was such low-hanging fruit, man. Come on. It was tough going for that peak. Gets himself punished for it as well. And now it's teammate in firm control of the Sunken City as well. Just like our observer, Sunken, by the way.
Yep, Sunken City. She's feeling
exactly.
at home right now.
That's it now. I'm now christening this area of the map Sunken City for the rest of the season.
All right, well, while we go ahead with that, that's fine. But Salford Jazz Hands, they've got control of the area. Jumbly Wobbles taking out Sombrero Bloke. So we're losing more of Salford Jazz Hands very early on. And they survived a really long time on Miramar. It's not a great start for them comparatively.
It's one thing I thought I'd miss a lot, actually, is team names when it comes to PUBG, but then you realise, actually, there's so many fantastic player names that you can say. And to be fair, all of them do have team names, which no doubt will start rolling out in future weeks as we build on the broadcast. But for
Hmm.
now, I can just enjoy Jumbly Wobbles. What a fantastic name.
Yeah, fantastic. He's also on the same team as South Korean, which you praised earlier on for the intimidation factor coming out from that
Well,
name.
what else? They got Dragonbane and January?
January.
Eh.
I don't know what he's doing with that
I
one,
think
but fair
Jumbly
play
Wobbles
to
and
him.
South Korean walk away with the winners here.
Chicken Dillon's still alive, Des. He's on his last life at the moment, though, and they're getting a rush coming in from South Korea. He's going to walk in with the UMP and just end it. Like, he could have waited like one more second. He would have just died of natural causes. So, wasn't much urgency to that kill, but South Korean racking up
Oh,
the kill confirmation for Jumbly Wobbles. Overpowered. Going to turn it back onto January. So, Salford definitely not out of this one so far as Jazz Hands gets the kill confirmed. Overpowered being the person to land the shot.
well, overpowered again. One of those guys we saw. Look, a little bit of a quiet game too, to be honest with you, but definitely one of the big players in game one. Curious to see, of course, if he can end strong. We spoke about the difference between the two maps as well, being more familiar with one of them, being more comfortable knowing the good angles to take or the good peaks to go for or good positions to fight for. Maybe now that we're back here as well. And actually, I've got to say, one thing that's a big one for me is that the circle is in a completely different place. Last time around, it was down towards the southeast. Now we're headed towards the northwest.
We had a Milter Power Circle looking like it could be around shooting range, possibly a North George if it's even going to move over to the west a little bit further. Looking at the rest of Team 8, happy with Sunken City's complete control. They forced out Salford. They're not going to be able to stay there much longer as they've lost multiple members, but they're still in the game. Verasi over with Overpowered. I think they're the two remaining members of squad number 2 from Salford. They're going to keep their looting and they're going to have to move on very shortly.
Can we add his name to one of those names we need to clarify how to say? Is it
Which one?
Verasi or Verasai? I think it's Verasai.
It could be Versailles. We'll have to ask him, Des.
Oh, well, yeah, it's on the list. The ever-growing list, we'll say that much. Although you did take one name off that list in between the games.
I had to ask him. He's calling us out in the chat. You know, he's calling us out.
That was a great slip of the tongue there as well. So fitting. which player are we talking about?
We're talking about Lion, but he spells the first lion different from the second
Leon
we
Lion, I'm guessing.
So we assumed that there was going to be a different pronunciation, but no, it's the same pronunciation for it twice. So it's Lion. The name's so nice, you say it twice.
It looks like you're saying Leon Lion, though, right?
Yeah, it does. That's what we both fell for.
I saw him explain it, and he put haha, and he was like, it's meant to be a pun, haha, and I was like, yeah, definitely haha on that one, friend, but we'll go with it, okay?
Great sense of comedy, my friend. You're going to go far.
Well, less so comedy-wise. Gibby here, the one with the gun, he was one of the big top fraggers the last time round, and we do keep on mentioning these top fraggers, but it's because they're going to be so pivotal in the coming weeks, especially when you see teams coming down to those big final fights. And in the last game, he almost played spoiler, and actually, if he'd managed to bring down Team 8 and shut down Atomical, and who was the other guy? Was it Pengu?
Peng.
If he'd shut Peng, that's the one. Yeah, if he'd shut both of those two guys down, that could have been the game where Gibby actually walks away the winner. So one of those guys to keep an eye on in this game, I think. Omnitoaster and Niels, again, PGI EU player, currently hold up here, pretty much so in the open. Well, not really in the open, they're inside buildings, but entirely on their own in the middle of this circle, quite happily enjoying their holiday home.
There's Stolzy from University of Manchester driving along. He's the only person in the vehicle. The rest of his squad. Oh, he just hit a hay bale.
Well, okay, that happens.
Great time. And took himself to half HP.
Well, we're not all born natural drivers.
Yeah, Sunken. Tasha, well done catching that moment.
And now he's about
you can see Atomical. Look at this. Atomical's off to the side with Pang. So that second half of that squad over to the side. Swansea Storm Red looking in a good position. Pang's taking a few pop shots at someone with that AK. Not going to see anyone being knocked for it, but they've got good control of South Yasnaya.
They have, and that's what they want. Again, Yasnaya, as we saw last game, there was 3 or 4 squads in there, but never really found a fight. In fact, it wasn't until they all left Yasnaya that they actually got into fights, because it's such a large place that you can afford to basically stay in there forever and never really meet anyone else, because there's so many areas that you can loot in. The biggest one, of course, being those 6 multi-story buildings, which you can spend a long time inside looting. As a squad, if you occupy those, you can have 2 occupying the south side of the city all entirely by themselves. But less of that now as we are slowly heading away from Yasnaya. Stolzy, how is he down to 10% HP? This guy...
It was the pop shots coming out from Peng.
I was going to say...
He was too close to Yasnaya. He got taken down to about, I'd say about an 1/8 of his HP. He's trying to regroup with his teammate, Sungwon Kim, and make sure that they can stay with some relative safety. But more importantly, just get away from Swansea.
potentially with a rundown. I thought he was going to run him down there if he weren't careful, but no, just picking up all of his team and doing again something quite uncharacteristic. We don't see too many teams do this, is putting all the members into one vehicle. It's normally better to space them out in case something does go wrong. But alas, when you only have 2 vehicles, maybe the budget's not there to afford 3. They're going to roll out together. They've got to be careful because Squad 18's off to their left here and could potentially go for a spray. There they go.
Yeah, moving into Never Not and the boys, they might have a little bit of difficulty if they get the spray down, but I think they're more occupied looking elsewhere. Zachary has got that VSS, I believe, but they're not interested in those vehicles driving by. Super Lucan and Paul Collins, they're in vehicles. Might be in the same one, but they're going to come over and hopefully have a pickup relatively soon so they can regroup and get the band back together.
I think Never Not took a few shots at the back vehicle, the one with just a solo member in, but nothing really came of it off the back of that one. But now we're looking towards Team 1, and this time around it's Atomical and Pengu, the team who literally came out as number 1 last time round.
Yeah.
They're the ones to watch for this game.
It's Swansea. They've disembarked their vehicles. They're keeping an eye out for who was taking the pop shots at them. They're pretty angry. They put a few bullet holes in their vehicle. Vandalism, it's not cool, kids, no matter what people tell you.
Bullet holes don't make you look cool, we'll say that much.
They definitely don't make you look cool. They make you look something, but
pretty dead.
In need of medical attention, mainly.
That works out too. Well, let's see what else is going on as well. South Korean again, one of those players we were speaking about before. They're heading off here as well. Paul Collins driving straight past them as well. No shots really connecting though. Not able to bring him down despite layering literally 3 mags into him. He drives
so
away.
Close
Pretty
to
much
going
full
down.
HP.
Look at his HP bar. He's getting away with a sliver of health. That's gotta feel bad for Jumbly Wobbles and the boys.
Was there someone else in the vehicle with him? Because his HP bar looked pretty full.
I don't know. His HP bar looked dropped. There might have been someone else in the vehicle with him.
Maybe. Maybe I missed it. Maybe it was Secret Lucan who was in the car with him. We could only see the one. But hey,
maybe it was full HP. I don't know.
It looked like it took a bit of chip, but nothing massive. And like I say, 3 mags being put into him and still not able to bring him down. Bit unlucky. Even go for a tyre just to slow him down would have been a good start, but missed a whole lot.
Oh, Chazmaster has worked Squishy Boys in a little bit of difficulty because Salford looking to push onto them in the ruins area. Overpowered. Maybe outnumbered if he goes for this entry onto Chazmaster. Heard him. He's off to the side, getting in a better position. Verassi over the edge has got Overwatch onto him. But Chazmaster not quite sure where this offensive push is coming from, and he's let him slip through his grasp. Could spell disaster for his teammate. He's left back in ruins.
Needs to be careful. I think he's looking back there just towards his teammate as well, checking things out. They've got a bit of a crossfire almost on the go here, but need to be careful because
they're charging Verassi.
I was about to say from Team 2, they've both got angles here, and as soon as Verassi calls it, you can already see the spray coming in from the other side as well. Only takes a few bullets to land from Overpowered or Verassi, and suddenly someone goes down. There we go. Lumen is the first one to fall. Overpowered gets that one.
The frag. Look at the arc and the position from Verassi. He can play
that grenade was beautiful. It hit him.
Lumina, he's got eyes on him. He can take a couple of pop shots to finish him off. Gets into the crate cover, but Overpowered going to be the one to finish him off. Chazmaster going in for a 2v1 here. Work Squishy Boys. Not looking too good for them. Reinforcements too far away. They might lose 2 of their members already as the remainder of Salford are going to take him out. Chazmaster still playing around the boxes. They know he's around there somewhere. They're going to assume he's behind there. Throwing the smoke. He was going to go for the smoke potentially. Oh, frag grenade from Verassi. That's all there for the kill confirmed. Overpowered walks in with the double tap. He's going to finish him off. Chazmaster and Walk Squishy Boys being taken out.
2 fantastic grenades coming out of Verassi there. The first one putting him down to 10 HP and forcing the med out. The second one bringing him down so Overpower could swoop in and finish him off. Great stuff. This is one of the rarer circles that you see in the game where actually it's going towards the northwest side of the map. Even beyond most of the major cities in Atomical. Well, he's getting a big spray down but gets himself dropped as well. They've got 2 members down here on that side and they've got no kills coming back their way. Team 1 are playing cleanup.
Swansea just need to get that final active member of the team. They're trying to push up on the rock whilst dodging fire. The shotgun from Etard who comes in close. 1 shot, 2 shot. Looking for the third. Deathblade, the only person remaining. Snips the Wookiee, still down off to the side. Atomical hasn't been rezzed by his team yet. I think they would rather get those kills, force them off, and then go back for relative safety while Peng keeps an eye over the battlefield.
That's exactly it. If you're spending time trying to res someone in the middle of a fight, then, well, you're not firing your gun towards someone, you're not looking where you need to be, and you leave your other team member in a 1 versus 1 situation. We've all seen them go wrong before, so Atomical, he's not going to bleed out anytime soon. Just give him a bit of time, go for the fight first and try and go for the cleanup. Well, they're not going to find him, and they are going to get him back up. In fact, it looks like he backed away completely, and now they've got a lot of just rewards to go through. They've got 2 full body of loots here to go through.
Going to hit themselves top. Etard, I think, needs some medicine, basically. He's at 2/3 HP, and otherwise he would have healed himself beyond there. Atomical pushing forward. You can see Deathblade off to the side in the peripherals. Atomical's got eyes on him. Going to spray it down, get the final kill. Snips the Wookiee with no one to res him. Going to be out of this one. Team 20 being taken out of the 3rd round on Aaron goal.
And there we go. Not really anything unexpected there with Team 1 being the team they came up against. Again, we've seen these guys with huge performances so far across the 3 map. Not too far away just down the hill, though, there is Team 18 who are now getting ready to roll out. They've done their looting. They're in a happy position. Away with their 2 vehicles, going to try and get themselves into a more favourable spot. I'm looking again towards these teams in the southeast here as we jump across to it, who are starting to push in. There's 3 or 4 teams starting to converge on the edge of the zone here, with the blue pushing in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, we've got whatever from University of Portsmouth, Geordie Unknown, team captain there with Rydona. Taking over that ruins area. Full squad seems to be packing in. They're not quite in the new zone that's formed out. It got overpowered off to the side. He's taken out Wishful Kit. Gonna get the knock, overpowered, getting the kill confirmed away from Vexin. There's more squads coming in though. You can see squad 5 and 12 caught in the crossfire of Verassi and overpowered.
Got a couple in the sea there as well. I thought Verassi might have a good spot onto them, but nope, not quite to be.
Imagine trying to take pop shots into water. I don't think he's going to be doing that one. Crumplefire, meanwhile, going to get Dan Bridges, the indie. Finally going down to overpowered, getting those kill confirmed. Unity Evolve moving forward. He's taking a lot of HP down, and Verassi going to get the kill confirmed onto that one. Spectral with the headshot will find Dan Bridges. Squad 5 taking those shots, but they're not able to find anything else. Vexin, Assad the Beast, and of course, Deplex and Connoisseur unable to get anything done with that one, but they will push forward and try and take more territory closer to the circle. Teesside University still in this game.
I love all the spam we're starting to see come out in chat. Spam this donkey to help the Pompey. Spam this tick to help Warwick. Good stuff, guys. I love the spam that represents the teams. I'm all down for that. And well, it looks like by the looks of Team 14 up on this hillside, I've had a bit of a horrible scrap, and Team 25, Crumplefy, got taken out pretty early in the last game, but had a great game one as well. Now, well, he's in a spot where he can just pick up keys all that he likes. And speaking of picking up kills, Keys will bring down one. He gets the second one as well, finishing off Stolzy. It's been a bit of a kill trade up there. It's a bit of a fiesta, you might say.
Nice cleanup coming out for pro players, by the way, from the Montfort University. Able to get those kills there. Captain Keesus.
Is that their team name?
Yeah, pro players, by the way.
That makes sense. I thought you were genuinely saying they're pro players, and I was like, what?
No, pro players, by the way.
Okay, I'm happy that's been clarified. Thank you.
Okay, no worries. Just for you, pal.
Just for me. For everyone. For the benefit of all. Well, look at Gibby. Gibby's actually got a sniper down here on the left-hand side as well, and although he's on the low ground, well, we've seen what big players can do with big guns, and that's definitely a big gun to have in your hand. As Overpowered brings down Vexin. Geordie, unknown from somewhere else, manages to pick up the finishing shots onto that one too. You can just see, look, again towards Ruins, how many squads there are down there. That's where we've seen the massive scrap and brawl going on between those teams, whereas elsewhere it's been a little bit quieter so far. And it feels like Team 18, Paul Collins once again, they're always moving out just as teams are about to enclose on them, so it's almost like they've got perfect timing. And what better team is there to run away from than Team 1?
Yeah, you don't want to be standing and trying contesting Swansea. They've seemed unstoppable today, especially with the performance on Miramar. Just the engagement they're able to take seems superior to whoever's trying to out-frag them, but the circle's getting closer. Southeast of George, and that's where we're going to see that final circle end up. Atomical leading the charge for his team. He's got Etarded and Peng behind him. 3 kills so far, so not as heavy on the frags as we've seen from previous rounds out of this squad.
I'm curious to see how it comes out for Team 2. I mean, Overpowered and Verassi have had a good start to the round so far. Now they're in a situation where they've been completely penned in by Team 13. No matter where he tries to go here, he's going to find himself in a very, very tough spot. Peek up there and you'll find shots. There we go. He's been downed. Overpowered again, one of those big names we've been looking out for. Gets 4v1'd. And that'll be the end of that squad. We're down to 14 squads, Trid.
Salford Jazz Hands out of the final game of the night. He's unable to stay in the competition. Niels, we'll see from Kiel Legends, taking out Gibby. Getting that kill confirmed. Fatal Slug, getting a little bit of fire to himself. Goshushai and Keesus moving into safety. So De Montfort got a position nicely southeast of George, separated through multiple buildings as everything's coming in. But Marky Mark taking out South Korean with the kill confirmed. Chalsky knocking the Plex with a headshot as well. This is all happening northwest George, I believe. This engagement, Chalsky finally getting that kill confirmed onto the Plex. He's moving in, Lion taking out Wolfie. Gonna get the knock, should be able to finish this one up. Rusky going in for the confirmation. Teammate coming in, looking to get it. Lion getting knocked down by Doogie, moving in closer. It's just Rusky to keep him alive. Turns it around with the AK and will take out Watermelon, but Doogie going from the side, gonna find Lion and Rusky taking both those players out.
Like you say, that's what I mean. You win one firefight and 2 seconds later you can lose it. And Douchey played spoiler in round one, had a good round two, and then in this time round has managed to get himself a few kills towards the end. His squad have got 5 kills across them all, but he is the only surviving member. So I imagine we'll see a Captain Crumpet style of play style come out of him right now. You save yourself until the final few, and then you try and play spoiler.
Well, he got himself a podium finish last time, so he could do it again. Secret Lucan, Zachary off to the side. Paul Collins, he was playing the little bit of a hidey, but Coventry Phoenix covered in a little bit of smoke, got themselves to terrain cover. Epoch from the side takes out Kisa, so DMU, one person knocked for them. It's Epoch off from the side with the Car 98, going to take it down a headshot.
This could be the big fight we see coming up now as well between Team 1 and Team 18. Look at this fully stacked out. Oh, there's an Orm in there as well. We've already seen what Team 1 did with it last time round when they won. If they can get their mitts on that again, give it to Atomical, give it to Peng. This could be a very scary round in which teams may well struggle to threaten them for that top spot finish.
It looks like Swansea have got the eyes on Coventry. Don't know what to do with the eyes, though. Yoda on fire, taking out Dragonbane. So Imperial College getting knocked down. Yoda on fire, going to take it. Bloodhound EU being taken out by Connor Sut 1. Yoda Fire finally going to finish that off onto Dragonbane. So team captain for ICL Eagles already being taken out of the map as you see a lot of players transitioning over that hill in the distance.
Yeah, in the spot now as well, where we're getting down to the point where there's 12 teams remaining, about to hit that top 10. That sort of area we're looking to. Jumbly Wobble's still alive. In fact, no, finally brought down by Lieutenant Kazansky. He was playing spoiler there because he went down immediately. No down state for him, just an insta-kill, so he was the final surviving member. Oh, that's a flaming car right there, mate. Might want to move away from that one. Oh, down he goes.
Oh, and Crumple5's already found Zachary. Not looking good as he's on that ridge all on his lonesome. And you can see Paul Collins, he's making the call. He's going to go find a shed, hide in it, drop a smoke grenade, and have himself a rave.
You know what I've just realised? He's in a difficult spot here as Team 18, where on one side of the mound, you've got Team 25 bearing down on you with snipers, as we just saw. On the other, you've got Team 1. Where do you go? No matter where you go, another team has a huge advantage onto you. In fact, Team 1, for the most part, have started rotating back towards the north, towards the blue, to, I think, sweep across west and then going from there. In fact, they're trying to pick off a member, I think, who's hanging off far inside the blue zone itself.
Yoda on fire, going to die out to himself. So unfortunately, nothing more coming out from him this game. It was our final game of the map. Remember, Erangel all to play for, but it's still a season ahead of them. Placement's going to give everything. They're all that important. So Kisus still in our home team, Des. Pro players, by the way, from De Montfort University. Full man squad with 11 teams left. 33 alive, averaging 3 players left the team, and they're above the average. And that's all they're going to be. But knocked down by Secret Luke, and the cheeky headshot to take out Gosu Shai is going to put DMU on the back foot.
It always seems to be the way. The players with these big snipers are the ones doing work for them. And you can see Fatal Slug finds the angle but doesn't manage to get the shot down. They're just constantly trying to trade things back and forth. But Team 18, as much as I said they were threatened here by Team 25, it's starting to feel like Team 25 are the ones being threatened the other way.
They've got the cover of the house. It's playing around the terrain instead for Team 8. As DMU moving on to the rooftop, they got that sniper rifle available. I believe that's the M24 for Fatal Slug. If he can land one of the slugs, it'll definitely be fatal. Vanilla CS being knocked down. Niels from Kiel Legends finding Marky Mark, but they've lost Vanilla CS in the trade from Danadello. It's Peng actually moving very close to Jester JG. Wants to get the shot down. Peng should win this fight. Jordi Unknown going to take out Connor Sut. Trade's coming in. Atomical needs to move in position. Paul Collins could have been in his sight there, but he wants to reinforce his teammate. Jester actually getting the knock on the Peng. Atomical needs to be faster. He wants to save his top fragging teammate.
Don't think it's going to happen, trying to get the smoke down as well, just so he can't get sprayed down, but he is far too late. Jester is the one bringing down Peng, which means there's going to be a cry of rage on the other side. Atomical steams in, brings him down, finishes him off. It does mean now there is no potential for Peng to come back into it. All hopes are pinned on Atomical to deliver big.
Atomical's been the top fragger for Swansea Storm Red in the previous 2 rounds. I imagine he's going to be able to keep that up as he's moving on to Zachary and Secret Luke, and could be dangerous in a 2v1, but he might be able to play it. Coventry Phoenix already feeling the hurt as Doogie going to be taken out. Another one of our DMU boys from DMU Unreal going to be dropping out of this one.
That's number 2 DMU squads.
2 DMU squads, Des. It's impressive. That. We're getting good esports representation at our former uni.
I'm totally down for it. I'm all for that. And Atomical now is the one breaching himself over the hillside. So I thought for a second they were going to try and flank north and then west to try and catch other teams out rather than trying to assault this hill where Team 18 are currently set. I don't think they're even aware that Atomical's here because he's pretty much in vision line, but no one's really paying any attention to him yet. He's got to watch out because just to his right, there is another member waiting. He's taking shots
Oh,
as
here come
well.
the shots.
Oh boy, he's in so much trouble if he gets caught out here.
He's still trying to find Zachary, who's lying down there. I don't think he's been taken out. He's still in the game, just hiding out, looking for someone to move past. But if he heads up to this car,
oh, Zachary.
The footsteps, he's going to go for the spray down.
No!
Oh, Zachary turns it around onto Atomical. Unfortunately, Swansea aren't going to be able to match their score. They're going to finish 8th from this third map.
Unfortunately, I'm not quite sure what went fully wrong for Team 1 there. I think something must have happened, either he disconnected or whatever it was, but he found himself outside the zone and the members just got picked off one by one from there. Unfortunate end for them, but it does mean we get to see a different team, not only just in the first place position, but in all of these top 5 spots, Trid.
Oh my god. The shots on the Goshu Shy playing a very dangerous game, running past the spray down. Not a single bullet connects, but he's running into Team 6 now, Des. He's out the frying pan into the fire. He's going to get himself off of that motorcycle and hide in the shack because, well, it's all about placement. Wachowski, Rydona, 2 players from University of Portsmouth.
Whoa.
That's going to be a clean wipe. Captain Crumpets, F's in the chat. None of your sneaky business this time around.
Well, Team 13 who are now coming up big, the one with 10 kills on the board. So it goes to show that it isn't just 1 or 2 teams that are going to be leading the pack in every single game and week henceforth. Actually, 10 kills is pretty impressive, and it's Geordie unknown. Well, you were pretty unknown until this game, my friend, but this is a good showing for the team.
Geordie unknown, obviously from University of Portsmouth team, whatever. It's been up there, but hasn't got himself into the podium finish, so to speak. Tonight at least, but it's plenty more weeks to come in the NUEL winter season.
I mentioned the spam earlier on. We're bad, we draw, we're from Liverpool, which is another great one put in there by Snow. I'm going to have to start saving all of these for the future, just so we can do it ourselves when it comes around to a team playing well, playing bad in some cases.
I'm a big fan of self-deprecating humour, Des, so the fact that teams are willing to do that is A1 in my book. I
am totally down for that.
Look what team you are. Kesis, Fatal Slug, Crumplefy. All sat down in containers. They've got to deal with Omni Toaster and the rest of Kiel Legends who've got that warehouse. And then coming into Shipping Yard as well, we've got Danadello and his teammates moving in. So there's 3 squads just in containers by themselves.
You see that team off to the southeast as well, playing high up in the mountains, just trying to go for more of those long-range pot shots. Well, we've got 3 teams over here in the Shipping Yard itself about to all get things down. This could be very, very tough because I think especially for Team 11, one of the teams who finished second in the last map, they might find themselves in a spot here where they get pinched in by the teams on either side of them, or we might just see Team 25 rotate off completely towards the south side of the map. But when you've got the cover of buildings, there's no reason to rotate away. You're in a pretty safe spot here with all that cover around you.
We've got ourselves. It's University of Portsmouth have got that high ground off to the southwest. And you got Get Swifty and the rest of the boys on the southeast. You got the rest on the southwest. Kiel trying to get to a better position. Niels up on the high ground. He's got a nice shot of Gosu Shy. Can't connect. Waiting for the right time and the right level of exposure to pull the trigger on that one because it's a very dangerous game. Shipping container. You give away too much information, you could get collapsed on, especially when you're in the middle of the fight.
You know, Niels is one of those players who spoke about a lot tonight, having played at PGI, and so far it's been pretty quiet. This could be his time. He's gonna have to tank some of that blue to find himself in a good spot. Loses a good 40% of his HP for the problem for the pleasure as well.
Yeah, well, we've got Virtual Vikings from University of York. They're about to potentially pincer in Kiel Legends. And of course, there's a lot of teams that collapse. Keith is moving forward. He might run into Niels, gets the spray down. There's a knock. Go for the reload. Play relative safety. Only Toaster off to the side. I don't know if he can get himself in position to heal. Niels looking to get into cover. Can't do it fast enough on his hands and knees. So Keith is captain of DMU. Getting another kill. And he's taken out the captain, of course, of Kiel Legends. So 2 members remaining. Gosu Shy gets the knock onto Mr. Mechanics. Alki Lacey taking out Gosu Shy as well with the down, but he will get the kill confirmation. Fatal Slug with the M24 trying to take pop shots at the building. Mr. Mechanics seems to be in a good spot for the res. The rest of his team might be able to get him out here.
Yeah, Fatal Slug in a great spot here. In fact, all of Team 25 are, where they've got the pinch on the north-hand side, as you just saw from Keesus. That means the other 2 members are basically freed up because Keesus can cover this whole north side of the circle by himself, meaning the other 2 members can look inward or try and find other members off to the south, as you just saw them do. Team 11 are now trying to rotate. Team 25 could catch them in the open here if they've got eyes on, but Keesus has rotated away.
Keys has got himself back to safety, so DMU, the 3 members they've got remaining, are alive at the corner. You've got the all-time blockbuster champions from University of Hertfordshire. They were the ones they were engaging before. Camplified taking pop shots. Fake looks like it's going to go down. Grenade coming onto TEC. Reed, that's a downed player. I don't want to be you. Taking out Yates on the toaster. Down for Kiel Legends. 2 players remaining in that squad. I think it's only 1 remaining. Camplified trying to provide suppressing fire and a vehicle to cover them up, so Keys potentially can get the res, but he's taking a lot of fire. I think they're going to cut their losses here, lead their down player into the dust, and get into a better position, Des.
They don't really have a choice here. They've got to move because they've got a team to the south, a team to the north. Everything around them is just looking to bring them down here no matter where they try and go. It's the horrible situation where you're forced to make a move. Now they're going towards the north, and there is a whole squad waiting here for them.
Virtual Vikings going up against Coventry Phoenix, and it's Coventry getting the first blood onto Danidello. Epoch going down. Keesus going to be taken out by the vehicle. A collision from Nevernot. Taking out Keesus and Crumplefy. DMU, I believe that's being eliminated. They finished 6th. Rydona taking out Nevernot. He just got a little bit of Grand Theft Auto, a little bit of hit and run coming in. He's going to be taken out by a bullet. Paul Collins coming in for the res. Rydona's going to down him as well. Secret Lucan, the only player remaining active on Coventry Phoenix, and he's in the sights of multiple squads.
So tough again. These final circles are always the pinch point where teams can just go out unexpectedly if they don't find themselves in the right angle. Look at that circle as well. This plays completely into Team 13's round. Team 13 with 13 kills might find themselves in a position to win this round out. There are only 3 teams left and they've got all 4 members.
Look at the advantage that whatever from Team Portsmouth have. They've got control of the only set of properties inside this circle. Rydona taking out Paul Collins, confirming that kill. Over to the southwest, you've got a couple of contestants, but really this is looking like it's going to be a Portsmouth round, Des.
Actually feels like it's slowly starting to go that way. Maybe trying to get this 5th here. Geordie missing a few of the crucial shots. I don't know why Algie was crouching the whole way forwards, because you made the whole thing very easy for Geordie to secure there. But hey, down he goes. He might actually find himself a second one here as well as they go across to try and save him. If he can get this opening kill in the open, this could be huge for him. Missing those final couple of shots, he gets it. And Team 13, they bring down the majority of Team 6. They are in a great position to end this round.
Whatever, dealing damage to the all-time blockbuster champions. They're already in a position where they're not going to be able to contest this one. Looking for the resurrection, but he's got clear lines of sight to be able to start taking down. Get Swifty, going to drop Captain Geordie Unknown, racking up the frags, and Rydona on the other side gets a knock onto Zachary. Secret Lucan will be taking it out. His captain of Coventry Phoenix downed and out by Rydona, and his teammates are in the same area looking to take some cover. Mr. Mechanics is down, so Team 6 all-time blockbuster champions are out of the map. 2 teams remaining. It's going to be Portsmouth going up against Coventry Phoenix to close this one out, Des.
I was going to say it was becoming a slaughter for the most part there, because the kill feed for the last 2 minutes has been literally all Team 13 getting kills onto multiple squads. But finally we see one traded back, and you can see it's a 3 versus 2. The 2 members of Team 18, they've got the low ground. They've got to face up against the buildings coming in from the other side, but everyone is in the zone as things stand, so no one has to move just yet. That means Team 18 can play this patiently and try and get pickoffs like this. Down goes Chelsky. Now into a 2 versus 2. Team 18, we keep saying it all night long, they might literally be the team to play spoiler here.
Geordie Unknown's coming down from the ridge. He's not with the team just yet. Rydona's got that rooftop angle, so he has the height advantage, but the cover being played around by Secret Lucan and the rest of Coventry Phoenix is big for them. He just spotted him out. They know where Rydona is. They just don't know where Geordie is for the time being. Whips out that AWM, wants to get the shot. Rydona.
Oh, what a shot!
Beautiful shot by Lucan to take down Rydona. It just leaves Geordie Unknown to come in and play cleanup, but they think they've spotted him off in the distance. They're still playing very carefully, but they're going to move up onto the rooftop and get that confirmation of the kill. Secret Lucan moving in with the aggression.
Where on earth has Geordie been this whole time? He's been sat up right on the edge of the blue. I don't know if he was looting or medding, but he's left his 2 teammates very much so on their own. They've been picked off one by one, admittedly with some great shots coming out of Secret Lucan. They're pretty much going to be done here unless Geordie can pull off the miracle play.
Well, they've conceded territory of the buildings that were held by whatever, and they're going to be able to get that kill and confirm it onto Rydona. So they're keeping an eye out for where we're going to be seeing Geordie Unknown, but he's got himself a building of his own. We might have to wait till the next circle, possibly force out phase 9 before a collision happens, because if you think you've got the comfort and the safety of this area, you might hold it, but Geordie seems to have a good read on where the remaining players of Coventry are.
He does seem to have it now. They've all moved away. I think they're probably because they can see at least somewhat from the death counter spectate, where you can see that kind of top-down, grayed-out view, roughly where they are. They've moved away though now, so he's got to be aware that at least something is going on. And as you said, if this comes down to another circle, he's actually in a good spot because he's much closer to the center of the current circle than the other members are. That gives him the best chance to be able to relocate if we see the zone move over towards that western side. But for Team 18, they know they're in a 2 versus 1 situation. They know the advantage is in their favor. They don't have to rush anything right now. They can afford to take their time.
9 kills for Geordie. Half of his squad's total kills on this man. He's having a fantastic game. The only way he can make it better is by taking that first place and that chicken dinner home for University of Portsmouth. He's got to deal with 2 members, though. He has got a little bit of disadvantage, not only with numbers, but positioning as well. Circle is going to designate everything when we pop into phase 9, and it starts shrinking ever closer, forcing that conflict. Just need to make sure they're in that position and they're able to take a fight whenever it emerges.
Well, Portal Official has been spam this donkey to help the Pompey all round long, and it seems to be paying off somewhat as we come down into the final stage. And there you can go. Final circles right in. Team 18 now, the onus on them more so than on Geordie to make a move. Depends how smart he's feeling. That grenade comes through. Doesn't quite bring him down, but it does put him down to about 60 to 70 HP.
Geordie unknown, taking the painkillers. It's getting close. 13 seconds, 12 seconds, 10. And it could force out the fight as the circle would begin to shrink. Secret Lucan keeping an angle. There he is with the spray down. Geordie going to be taken out. Winner, chicken dinner. Going over to Coventry Phoenix to close out the night.
And what a fantastic round that turned out to be. Again, all those teams we spoke about before not hitting the top. Those players that we saw towards the end. And Geordie, stellar performance, but it was a completely different team coming up in the top 5 and winning spot number 1. Fantastic performance overall, I think, tonight. I think we can easily say that, Trid. Actually, I think tonight it surprised me more so than I thought it would. We've seen some fantastic play.
Yeah, squads who have made a name for themselves today, I would say, Des. You've got whatever from University of Portsmouth. You've got yourselves Swansea Storm Red. And I would also say Kiel Legends getting on the map as well. You had a couple of other players making some notable plays. I think Salford Jazz Hands pulling off some decent plays as well. But, we're starting to see some good teams. And I think where this league or where this season is going to come into its own is when we start seeing consistency from these teams. We start seeing consistent top place finishes over the next couple of weeks. That's when it really starts to get interesting, I think. This was just a taster to see how this is going to pan out and maybe make a name for yourself. But the real victory comes later on in the season.
Absolutely. Let's not forget, of course, as well, this isn't the end. This is pretty much just the start of things. Like you say, teams have kind of started to give themselves an idea of what or give us a taste of what we can expect to see in future weeks, but that does all change. We will be back again next Saturday with week 2. Again, we'll have 6 weeks of normal play ahead of our playoffs. There's lots to tune in back for. We've seen some fantastic games tonight. Thank you very much for sticking us the whole way through. That is the end of tonight's activities, though. Again, back next Saturday. We'll see you then, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in.
The last time is always